Hi, Adriana. I heard you were going to get married. Huh? Oh, long time no see, Evelyn. When's the wedding going to be? We're planning on having it next spring. From who did you hear I was getting married? My mom was talking to your mom on the phone today. That's when I heard. Oh, is that so? I guess my mom did say that she was still in contact with your mom even after we moved into the neighboring city. I heard that you were going to marry the CEO of a large company. Oh, yeah? Of course you're going to invite me to the wedding, right? I wish you would understand how much I want to celebrate the wedding of an old friend. You'll invite me, right? Well, if you insist that much. Okay, I'll invite you. Should I send the invitation to your parents' house? Yep, that's fine. Still, though, it seems like everyone around me is getting married recently. There are other people getting married as well? Yes. Just this day before I heard about your wedding, I got a text from a friend from university that she was going to get married. She says her husband is a soon-to-be CEO of a company. I'm so jealous of you two. Both of you have struck fortunes. It's not like I'm marrying him for the money or anything, though. But still, it makes me so jealous. Oh, sorry. Can we end the conversation here? I'm currently on the way to the convenience store. Alright. Well then, I'll be waiting for that invitation to your wedding! Hi, Adriana. I got the invitation to your wedding. Oh, okay. Reply as to whether you'll come or not by the date written on the invitation. Alright. But still, I'm getting so many wedding invitations, it's a mess. Oh, you said that everyone around you was getting married, right? Yep. In fact, there's another wedding ceremony I need to go to the day after yours. Oh, really? That means you're going to have to go to wedding ceremonies back to back. Will you be able to manage it? Both are in the capital, so it's fine. More importantly, though, I keep looking at the specs of everyone's husbands. Who's marrying into a fortune and who's marrying a regular office worker. You know, I remember it for everyone. That's an interesting way of remembering things. Do you think so? Well, just reply to the invitation, alright? Got it. Hi, Adriana. Are you getting along with your fiancé? What? Yeah, there aren't really any problems between us. Oh, is that so? What is it? There wasn't any hidden meaning. I was just jealous that you're marrying a rich man. Can I be honest with you? Huh? It's true that I'm going to be marrying the CEO of a large company, but it's not like I married him for the money. There you go again, LOL. There was no way for me to know that the person I've been going out with since I was 15 would start his own company in the future, right? You were going out with him since you were 15? That's the 3rd year of middle school, right? He's not someone from the same grade, right? Because I didn't know him. He's the same age, but he went to a different school than us. I met him at the cram school I was going to prepare for high school entrance examinations. We took the exams for the same school and we both passed, and we've been going out ever since the first day of high school. So that's how you two met. But at the end of the day, you're still marrying a rich man, right? I run the company alongside him. What? Okay, we're finished talking about this topic. There's something else I need to take care of, so bye. Hi, Adriana. Where do you think I am right now? Are you already sleeping or something? Alright, I'll tell you the answer. I'm currently in a hotel with your fiancé. I was only your friend back in middle school because you would do whatever I told you to do, and that meant using you to my advantage was really easy. Put simply, you were my personal servant. And yet, you suddenly got engaged to a rich man. And he's handsome as well. That's why I stole him from you. Well, that's all I wanted to tell you. Oh, and I'm not coming to the wedding ceremony tomorrow. I mean, I stole your fiancé, so it's going to be canceled anyways, I suppose. Bye then.
What is the meaning of this? What do you mean you stole my fiancé? This isn't funny, Evelyn. Besides, I was with my fiancé when you sent me these texts, so I know that they're not true. I myself am a witness that can prove that he didn't cheat on me, but still, I don't know what your intentions are, but it seems you don't want to celebrate my wedding. I understand you're not coming to my wedding anymore. Bye then.
Adriana! Hey, what's the meaning of this? Only my seat isn't at the wedding reception. Explain this to me now.
Huh? Evelyn?
I apologize for being late to the wedding and not being able to make it to the ceremony at the chapel, and not telling you about it, but there was some emergency that I had to take care of during the morning, and I was only able to make it to the wedding now. And yet, when I tried to enter, my seat was gone. This is so cruel. I thought we were old friends that could talk about anything with each other.
Didn't you say that you weren't coming?
What?
Didn't you tell me last night that you wouldn't come? Why are you even here?
Hold on. When I said I wouldn't be coming to the wedding, I meant tomorrow's wedding.
Didn't you send me a bunch of texts last night? About how you stole my fiancé and how you wouldn't come to the wedding?
What?
I'm busy with preparations for the wedding reception. Bye.
Adriana, there's a misunderstanding. Those texts were meant for a different person. I accidentally bombed you with texts instead of them. Those weren't meant for you. I told you before that there was another wedding ceremony that I would be going to the day after yours, right? The groom I stole was the groom of that wedding, not yours. I said I wouldn't come to that wedding. I still want to come to yours. You see, the bride and groom of tomorrow's wedding are acquaintances from university. She was always so rude to me, even though she was so poor, and she's trying to just sneakily marry a rich man, which is why I thought I needed to teach her a lesson and... I'm happy about your marriage from the bottom of my heart, Adriana. These people have nothing to do with you. I have nothing against you, so let me come to the wedding reception. Adriana, please. Reply to my texts. Adriana, help me.
What do you want?
You see, I'm being asked to pay alimony. Not only that, but the bride is making me pay for the cancellation fees of the wedding and also the cancellation fees for the honeymoon.
Her name is Beth, right? The bride whose groom you stole and was forced to cancel the marriage ceremony and their honeymoon they had planned. She also canceled the marriage ultimately, right? You've always had a habit of insulting people like that from time to time. I always noticed it, but it was usually tolerable, so... But to think that you would become the kind of woman who would steal someone else's fiancé.
Did I tell you that her name was Beth?
I heard about it from your mom. It seems that when the bride was reproaching you for stealing her groom, you brought up the fact that you sent me messages that were actually meant for her, right? She said that she wanted me to send her screenshots of the texts you sent me, since it could be used as proof of what you and her groom had done. She also told me the details of what had happened.
You sent her the screenshots?
I mean, can you blame me? You bothered us with what you did as well.
What? What did I do to you guys? Rather, you're the ones who made me really sad by getting rid of my seat at the reception.
But weren't you trying to come to my wedding after you just ruined the marriage of one of your friends?
But that has nothing to do with you.
It seems Beth had already noticed that you two were cheating beforehand. Apparently, she was waiting with her relatives outside the hotel you two were at that night. The groom was immediately caught, but you took advantage of everyone's attention being focused elsewhere to make a run for it. Which is why you arrived at my wedding late, which you had intended to come to immediately before getting caught. That's what happened on the day of my wedding, right?
You know that much?
Not only that, but I heard you were planning on getting lost in the crowd at my wedding reception and use that time to plan out how you were going to make an escape.
You know even that?
Those messages you sent me by accident? Now that I think about it, I was lucky to have received those messages. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have let you come to my wedding without knowing about anything you'd done.
But the incident involving Beth and your wedding are completely unrelated. I was planning on attending your wedding ceremony and celebrating just like everyone else.
I don't want someone who steals another person's fiancé celebrating my marriage. You disgust me from the bottom of my heart.
But Adriana, I'm all alone. Everyone's left me. I was also unlucky enough for one of my colleagues at work to be an acquaintance of Beth, which means that everyone at our company found out that I stole Beth's fiancé. I couldn't stand how everyone looked at me, so I quit, which means that I have no choice but to rely on you for help from now on.
Will you really not understand unless I tell you in clearer terms?
What?
I don't want to be friends with someone so inhuman that they would steal someone else's fiancé.
But we've known each other forever.
Don't think that just because we were old friends doesn't mean that we're unconditionally friends forever. Don't contact me ever again. Bye.
Adriana?
I heard this from Evelyn's mom at a later date. First of all, the groom that had cheated on his bride with Evelyn lost his position as the next CEO after this incident. His parents cut ties with him, and after paying what he needed to pay, quit the ceremony as well. He broke up with Evelyn as well and left his hometown as if he intended on starting completely anew. Evelyn, on the other hand, apparently not only did she think that there wouldn't be an alimony since the couple weren't married yet, but she also never even thought about having to pay for the wedding ceremony and the honeymoon's cancellation fees. I heard that when she saw that she had to pay tens of thousands of dollars, she fell to her knees and started shuddering in fear. Her parents didn't help her in any way, and in fact cut ties with her after the incident. Evelyn, all alone, now works mainly at a brothel, and is forced to take on shifts every day to support herself.
Hey, Shiloh. It's been such a long time. How have you been, sweetie? Is little Tommy okay? Huh? Is this Allison? Bryce from kindergarten's mom, right? Hey, long time no see. It must have been, what, over 10 months since our kids left kindergarten? Feels like forever. I know, right? Time sure does fly, huh? Anyway, did you see all the snow? The snow? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I did hear something about some snow. Is there a lot? Now that you mention it, what the hell? There's tons of the stuff. Sorry, I only heard about it through a friend, so I can't exactly say I've seen it. Come on, Shiloh. You're not some hermit shut-in who lives under a rock, are you? Well, I'm not, but I do work remotely, which means I probably spend a lot more time at home than the average person. Actually, I always have to remind myself how important it is to go outside every now and then for the sake of my health. Fresh air is essential. Exactly! Especially for children. They're creatures of the outdoors. You really should be careful not to keep that little Tommy indoors too much. He's small enough as it is without having a vitamin D deficiency to deal with, too. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, let's get down to business. Today's the first major snowfall we've had around here in years. It's been falling non-stop, and it's piling up like you wouldn't believe. Which is why we're having a snowball fight tomorrow morning. Oh, really? That sounds like a blast. Right? We'll be borrowing your backyard for the venue. Huh? Excuse me? My backyard? Yes, it's so big that you even have a doggy play area and some soccer goals for the kids. Isn't that right? We could probably throw snowballs all day with a small army of us and still never run out of ammo. Maybe so, back when we actually lived there. But we moved out a while ago. Oh, you did? Oh, well, it's not like that really matters. Of course it matters. How could it not matter when it's not my house anymore? You have to get permission from the new owner first. The new owner? Fine. Go ahead and let your husband know then. What? What does my husband have to do with anything? He doesn't live there anymore either. You need permission from the actual owner. Enough of this. I have more important things to attend to. But I just want to say a big thanks, Shiloh. We're all so excited for tomorrow. Toodles! No, Allison, wait. What the heck? Are you serious? You still seem to think we live there despite me having told you we don't. Are you gonna show up at my old house in the morning? We moved a few months back when my daughter graduated kindergarten, which means it doesn't belong to us anymore. It has a new owner, and you can't just invite yourself into their yard for a snowball fight. You can ask for mine and my husband's permission till the cows come home, but since we no longer have anything to do with the place, you're wasting your time. Please at least make sure you knock on their door first and see how they feel about this. You aren't even reading my messages. Anyway, asking me for permission to use a yard that no longer belongs to me is meaningless. Please read these messages before you go and do something you regret. Hey sis, good evening. Sorry to message you so late. Are you free right now? Hey Shiloh, sure, what's up? Sorry to be a burden, but I was wondering if you wouldn't mind checking something for me. I need confirmation on something. Confirmation? What is it? It's about mine and Stewie's old house. Do you know whether there's someone new living there yet? You mean like, did someone else move in? I'm not really sure. I don't tend to go to that part of town anymore, so it's hard to say. I've probably been there twice at most since you moved out all those months back. And I'm sorry to say, but I wasn't really paying attention to your old house. Okay, that's fair enough. Anyway, what's all this about? Did you leave something behind? No, it's not that. Here's the thing. The mom of one of the boys from Tommy's class back in kindergarten has taken it upon herself to arrange a snowball fight in the yard of my old house under the assumption that it still belongs to me. What? People actually do that kind of thing? She's absolutely convinced that we still live there. I tried my best to explain that we don't, but she stopped responding to my messages, and I'm concerned she's gonna get herself and her whole family in trouble. Oh dear. Her name's Allison, and her son's called Bryce. He was friends with my Tommy in kindergarten. She always had a reputation for being a bit of a trouble causer back then. I did my best not to let myself get too involved with her at the time, and ironically, we didn't have any problems back when our kids actually played together most days. Who would have thought she'd be causing me this much hassle 10 months down the line after moving house? My husband just got back from work. He passes through that area most days on his ways to the office, so maybe he'll know something we don't. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go ask him. Okay, thanks. Hey, sorry I kept you waiting. So what did he say? As far as he can tell, the house is still empty. So no one else moved in yet then? He said he can't say for definite, but he says it always seems to be locked. The curtains are always closed, and he doesn't get the feeling people are living there. I see. But in that case, I wonder if that means it's being managed by the real estate agent. Besides, the fence is pretty high, so I doubt anyone could get in without going to some serious effort. Yeah, I think you're right on both points. How about getting in touch with the real estate agent just in case? Good idea. I'll give them a call as soon as they open tomorrow morning. Thanks, sis. I'm really sorry to message you this late. I know you have to be up early for work. Don't be silly. I'm happy to help, Shiloh. Hopefully we can prevent this crazy Allison woman from doing anything illegal. Speak later. See ya, sis. Thanks a bunch. Sweet dreams.
Shiloh, answer your phone! Would you mind explaining what on earth is going on here? Some strange family I've never seen before came out of nowhere and started yelling at us. They asked us what we were doing in their yard and threatened to call the police.
Good morning, Allison. It would appear you're in quite the mess, huh?
You don't say, Captain Obvious. What's going on? Explain now.
How many times did I tell you that it was no good getting permission from me because it's not my house anymore?
I don't know anything about that. It's the first I've heard of it. Who were those people? Oh my god, the police are here. They actually called them.
For the time being, I think it's probably best you focus on the predicament you're in. Good luck.
Wait, Shiloh? Please tell me why this is happening. Shiloh! How could you do this to me? Why didn't you tell me you'd moved out? You knew me and my family planned on showing up at your old house for a snowball fight, and you just let me! Shiloh! I'm talking to you! Woman! Answer me!
Hi again, Allison. I just got off the phone with the real estate agent. They told me everything. About how you showed up first thing in the morning with your own ladder and climbed over the tall fence very clearly designed to keep out intruders, before undoing the locks from the inside and letting in, as you put it before, a small army of your friends and family. Next, as if running around tossing snowballs at each other on someone else's property wasn't enough, you decided to light a bonfire on their lawn and roast marshmallows for everyone while you were at it. Then, the family scheduled to move in today arrived amidst the chaos. They were so horrified when they saw a gang of complete strangers running around like lunatics in their new yard that they reported you to the police. You know what you did is called, don't you, Allison? Trespassing.
Like I already told you, I had no idea. It's your fault for not telling me in the first place. How was I supposed to know? Do you think I'm psychic?
You don't need to be able to bend spoons with your mind to read my messages. I told you enough times.
No, you did not!
Why don't you try looking through our chat history then? Scroll through yesterday's messages and you'll see it's all there. I didn't just tell you once either.
Oh my god, I didn't see that yesterday! I stopped reading them before you told me the important bits! Why didn't you mention it earlier? What you did was as good as not telling me!
Don't be so ridiculous. What else could I do? Do you have no concept of personal responsibility? You illegally entered someone's property after I told you very clearly you'd be doing just that. Then you stopped reading my messages, which would have prevented you from being arrested today because you had, quote, more important things to attend to.
Enough of your harping on! Do something! Get me out of this mess! I don't want to get arrested!
Do something? What could I possibly do for you?
My husband just told me he's divorcing me!
Wow, that escalated quickly.
He threatened to divorce me just last month if I ever did anything to cause him trouble again!
Wow, last month? Really? So you knew you were on thin ice and you did this anyway? You were so committed to your illegal snowball fight that you were willing to throw away your marriage over it? I hope the marshmallows were tasty at least.
I never knew this would happen! I just thought it would be a fun day for the kids!
I actually thought you'd take responsibility when you read my messages and realized what you'd done. How foolish of me. It would appear you're delusional beyond help.
How horrible!
Isn't this the natural conclusion of you completely disregarding my warnings? How am I horrible? I tried to prevent this.
I'm begging you! Please convince my husband!
Convince him of what?
Tell him I have permission to use the yard, please!
For the 7 millionth time. Me and my family moved out of that house months ago, which means asking us for permission to use the yard is meaningless.
Why?
Because it belongs to the family who just called the police on you.
Please just do something. This isn't a joke. I could be in serious trouble here.
Clean up the mess you made yourself. You thought you'd spend today roasting marshmallows, but it turns out the only one getting roasted is you.
Ah!
To give a brief summary on what happened to Allison after the whole trespassing incident, compensation for the total wrecking of that poor family's new yard, among other things, was settled out of court with Allison's husband, who very kindly agreed to lend his wife the money. However, he was absolutely furious, and he'd already filed for a divorce before the day was up. Citing her dangerous antisocial behavior, the judge deemed Allison to be unfit to have custody of their son, and so Bryce went to live with her husband. Afterwards, she did try moving back in with her parents, but apparently they'd already received word of what happened through several relatives, also furious, who she took along that day, completely unaware that they were breaking the law. As a result, no one in her family, parents, siblings, even distant relatives, wanted anything further to do with her. Naturally, in her mind, I was the one responsible for all of this. And I got several threatening messages demanding I pay her compensation to make up for it. Isn't the block feature just the best? Last I heard, she's currently working like a dog to keep up with the compensation she owes for wrecking the yard and the child support she owes her ex-husband. Can you imagine a bigger nuisance than her? It's hard to believe she's actually a real person. I learn something new about the world every day.